Today, what I wanted to talk about was holding deposit. When you buy a purchase property, do you need to put down a holding deposit? My name is Thomas O'Regan, and over the last 3.5 years, me and my wife have built an 11 property portfolio. Now, when it comes to holding deposits, what is it? A holding deposit is an amount of money that you put down on a property you are looking to purchase to signify to the owner, to the vendor, to the agent that you are serious about buying this property. When do you pay a holding deposit? Typically in Australia and Victoria specifically, the time when you pay the holding deposit, and in different states of Australia, this is different, but in Victoria, we're just going to use Victoria as an example for now. In Victoria, the time that you pay the holding deposit is the time that your offer is accepted by the vendor. So effectively, this in the situation, if you were to put forward an offer and say it's lower than the asking price, or it's at the asking price, or it's above the asking price, it doesn't matter. But at the time when you put forward that offer in writing in the contract and you send it through the real estate agent to the vendor, the person that is selling the property, and they say, yes, I accept the offer, and they write their signature on the contract, at that point is usually when you pay the holding deposit. And again, the holding deposit is something that is going down on the property to signify that you are a serious buyer, and you are seriously considering buying this property. And you might wonder, well, surely if you're putting down money on a property, you are serious. Yeah, generally people are serious about buying a property if they put down money as a holding deposit on the property. But the thing is, just because you put down the money as a holding deposit doesn't mean you have to go through with the transaction. Like in a hot market, you might not have time to do due diligence and research and find out details about the property that you would need to do a full transaction on the property, that you would feel comfortable doing a full transaction on the property. And Victoria, after you put down that holding deposit, there is a 3-day cooling off period. So what does that 3-day cooling off period mean? The 3-day cooling off period means after you put down your holding deposit and you exchange contracts, that 3-day cooling off period is a time for you to go into heavy due diligence on the property and find out every potential problem or anything about the property that you don't like. And then you can either further negotiate down the price, or you can be happy with it and move forward with the transaction. But that 3-day cooling off period, you have the right to walk away from that contract for any reason you see fit. You could walk away from the contract because you didn't realize the fence was falling over, or you didn't realize that the in the kitchen the tap was leaking, or it doesn't matter, any reason at all. You don't even need to have a reason. In the 3-day cooling off period, you can walk away for any reason. There's other things that you usually want to put inside of your contract, that are other reasons you could walk away, and these are clauses that you could put inside the contract, and these are standard clauses. Subject to finance is a big one. If you do not have subject to finance in your contract of sale, you are putting yourself in a really bad position, because even if you have a pre-approval, a bank might still not lend you the money on a particular property. So definitely put that in the contract. And if your finance doesn't come through and you do have subject to finance, you can again walk away. And another big one is building and pest inspection. A big reason to walk away from a property is for things that you can't see if you're not a professional builder and pest inspector. Like sometimes it's really hard to see if there's structural issues with the property, or if there's termites with the property, just as a normal person. So always put inside of your contract subject to building and pest inspection, as well as finance clause, obviously. And then get a building and pest inspector that you obviously have to pay to do an inspection to make sure the property is structurally sound and there's no termites. Because if you buy a property with termites, you're probably going to lose a lot of money. Same with the structural issues. Hopefully this helped, and if you guys have any more questions on investing in property here in Australia, just shoot me a comment and please subscribe. I really appreciate that, guys. Bye.